Hey, what's going on, Sports Fury Nation? We're back with another divisional outlook. This time, we're out in the AFC West.
Woo.
And who do we have? None other than Brandon Perner from That's Good Sports.
Up?
Welcome, Brandon.
Thanks for having me, guys. AFC West. I won't be biased. I'm not going to favor the Broncos in anything I have to say today. So
I'm sure that won't happen.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Definitely not happen.
Now, from going from 2017 to 2018, man, Denver Broncos. You guys didn't do so hot last year, 5-11.
Yeah.
Now we've seen some of your videos. You're feeling a little bit more optimistic now going into 2018, especially with some of the additions you guys made.
Yeah. 2017, they shit the bed. I mean, there's no way to beat around the bush there. The quarterback situation was not good. The offense was not good. Special teams was horrible. The defense was good for a while, but they can only carry a team for so long. So, honestly, this offseason, when free agency started, I wasn't super optimistic. I like the Case Keenum signing. My concern still is the offensive line, but I think they have a quarterback in Keenum who knows how to play behind a line that's not great. And then we had the draft. We got Bradley Chubb in the draft, So I started to feel better, started to see the pieces come together, and I'm one of those people who's going to be optimistic about my team every year. Even if everything is logistically pointed to the direction of failure, I'm going to find some sort of reason to be excited, about the season. Because if you're not, it's like, what's the point, right?
Exactly.
I know a lot about that. I gotta be optimistic about something because I'm a Bears fan. But
after all these years, maybe.
I loved what you guys did offensively during the offseason. Yeah, you were mentioning Case Keenum. I think him being at quarterback finally brings some stability and an identity to that offense, which you guys absolutely didn't have last year.
Yeah.
And then in the draft, getting Cortland Sutton, which may be the best wide receiver from the draft, and Deshawn Hamilton.
Yeah.
Your wide receiver core is pretty damn stacked.
Pretty damn deep.
Yeah, I just talked about the wide receivers. Those are two guys I'm really excited about. I didn't know much about them. I don't follow college football closely because the NFL basically consumes all my fucking time. So when I started digging on him, I became really excited about Deshawn Hamilton because I think he fills a need for the Broncos in that he's like a guy who can come in and play the slot receiver position, which is a spot the Broncos have had trouble filling basically since Wes Welker, left with his 300th head injury. But I think Hamilton's a smart receiver. He's a great route runner. And I think with Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, he could easily be that third guy. And if something happens with Thomas or Sanders, or they move Sanders to the slot, Sutton's going to get, a chance to be the number 2 guy as well. So I agree. I think those are two guys, especially with Keenum, he's going to throw the ball. Like watching him play last year, he extends plays and he gets the ball downfield. So the receivers they're gonna catch more passes this year. And I mean, last year with 3 different quarterbacks and 2 different offensive coordinators, the passing game was not fun to watch.
Yeah. The Broncos, they kind of remind me in a sense of like what Case Keenum had with the Vikings, right? A great defense. A team that actually has weapons. They just need a quarterback not to throw interceptions,
right?
And stuff like because last year I think all your quarterbacks had more interceptions than they had touchdowns, right? If I recall correctly,
that might be an accurate stat. I would have to double check it, but if it's not true, it felt that way.
And that's going to just do nothing but help the defense. I mean, you were 3rd overall in total defense, but you guys were, 22nd in points allowed. You guys were giving up a ton of points. And that's going to definitely change going into 2018 for the Broncos.
You bring up a good point. It was the turnovers. The defense was put in like a terrible position, at least 3 times every game, where the opposing offense had the ball in their own territory. So, I think the defense, they won't give up as many points just by, Case Keenum taking care of the ball. So I'm excited for the Broncos to hopefully have a top 5 defense again, and where it actually feels like they can dominate and control a game because the offense isn't going to, kill the defense.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about the Chiefs. They won the division last year at 10-6.
Yeah.
How do you think their offseason went? I mean, now Patrick Mahomes
made some changes, man.
Patrick Mahomes is going to be the guy now over there. Nagy, he's gone with the Bears, and So what do you think about the Chiefs going into 2018?
I don't know. I feel like they're kind of the biggest question mark maybe in the AFC West. They have a first-year starting quarterback in Mahomes. Yeah. Chiefs fans, I think, are overexcited about Mahomes because of his one game against the Broncos last year when the Broncos starting defenders left after like 2 series. Don't get me wrong. I think he has all the physical tools to be a very good NFL quarterback, but I never trust – for all intents and purposes, he's basically a rookie, right? So I never trust first-year starting QBs. So that's a huge question mark. I think the Chiefs, compared to the Broncos, the areas – they're definitely better. It's at tight end and running back for sure. Kareem Hunt and Travis Kelce, both of those guys are difference makers for that team. That will help Mahomes. But like the Broncos as well, I don't know what the fuck the Chiefs were doing when they got rid of Marcus Peters, and the Broncos let Aqib Talib go. Yeah. So you could argue those were 2 of the best corners in the division, outside maybe Casey Hayward last year for the Chargers. So I think the Chiefs' defense tried to get younger, which probably is the right move. I don't know if it's going to be effective this season. Yeah. Like, I feel their secondary I don't trust yet, and they're going to have to find pass rushers to help Justin Houston. I know D. Ford's coming off a back surgery, so I don't think their defense is settled yet, and I really think Kansas City is kind of going to be fighting with the Raiders to be in last place.
Yeah, wow.
That's true. And then the question mark on Sammy Watkins, who they also just added.
Can he stay healthy?
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah, that's his knock, right? So,
but
the Chiefs. Go ahead.
I'll say if it worked, like if Watkins is healthy and Mahomes turns out to be good, then you got to look at that offense as a serious threat to whoever they play. They have all the weapons, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and it all boils down to, like you said, the rookie or first-year starter,
right?
Patrick Mahomes. Josh is a little bit bigger on him than I am, because I've seen a lot of Texas Tech quarterbacks that come out with a huge arm that don't do anything in the NFL. But Andy Reid knows quarterbacks, even though he can't call plays to save his life, but he knows quarterbacks. So I'm going to maybe give him the benefit of the doubt.
He can't call plays to save his life in the playoffs.
Right.
That's true. Touche.
Okay. You mentioned the Raiders. Now, the Raiders during the offseason, they made a shitload of moves. And I don't know if any of them
were right.
are good. It's either genius or it's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Now they got Gruden over there.
John Gruden's back.
Gruden, yeah. They got John Gruden. And I don't know about their draft. It was just so puzzling how they got Colton Miller. They passed up on Derwin James. Which you shitted on, by the way.
What's going on?
Right.
Yeah. That was. I don't know.
How did they pass up Derwin James?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. Especially when your secondary's been a problem for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And then a divisional opponent comes in and takes him, who already has arguably the best secondary in the division. I will say, I think, I agree with you 100%. It's either John Gruden's a genius, right? And we're going to be eating these words in 5 months.
Yeah.
Or he's as crazy as his moves look. Because the draft was weird. The free agency, all the signings were strange. It's like they got older. But what they did do, I think, is they added depth and kind of boosted the offensive line and the defensive line. So if that team's successful, I think it's going to be because their offensive line is great, which it was not last season. They were good, but the season before, Raiders had one of the best lines in football. Yeah. And that defensive line is going to control games. And if you're protecting Derek Carr when he's healthy, we know he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Is Jordy Nelson going to be good, or is Martavis Bryant, is he suspended still for this? I don't know.
We never know with him.
I think Jordy Nelson is going to lose his start. I think he's going to be starting, but I think he's gonna eventually lose his starting role
to Bryant.
To Switzer.
See, to me,
because Switzer can break away. Switzer can break away. Jordy Nelson cannot break off anymore.
But the thing is, Cowboys drafted him, and I liked him when we drafted him. But he's more of a special teams guy or a slot. I'm not sure because we try to use him, and he just never took that step. Maybe he just needed a new change of scenery. I don't know, but I'm not sold on that. But we'll see.
I think Jordy loses his starting role at some time in the season.
Let's see if it was really only Aaron Rodgers that made Jordy Nelson great, and we'll have to wait.
And the running back is a huge question to me too. The running back situation with Marshawn Lynch and Doug Martin. Oh, God. It's very possible week 4, neither one of those guys are there.
We'll
they might both be hurt. I don't know.
Right. And those are 2 running backs I really liked. 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, well, maybe a little longer for Doug Martin, but again, it's like you look at all those positions and you're just like, I don't know, maybe if everything goes right, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, talking about Derek Carr, how do you see Derek Carr panning out in this offseason? I mean, during this season, with Amari Cooper, now he's going to be the guy. I mean, what do you see out of that connection right there? I mean,
right. I mean, well, Cooper's problem last year was holding on to footballs, right?
Ate that popcorn, man.
Derek Carr, I think really, one of the reasons I think he struggled last year is he had that broken bone in his back or whatever the hell it was that got hurt. Yeah. And I think that's a tough injury to kind of play through. And I don't think he was actually healthy until maybe the very end of the season. So I think injury was really the issue with Carr. But again, you only have one solid season of Derek Carr play. I think if the Raiders are good, it's going to be because Derek Carr is a really good quarterback. And, I think Amari Cooper will play better, maybe, again, like all the other positions. But we've seen him play really well. The skill set's there. If he's holding on to the football, I think the Raiders offense could be the bright spot of that team. I don't think the defense is going to be a whole lot better. I mean, their best corner left in what was already a secondary that was awful. So, I don't know. I want to hate Derek Carr, but after he did that weird banking commercial, I have a lot more respect for him and a sense of humor. So really, if I see a guy's funny in the NFL and I previously thought he was I didn't like him, it shifts immediately. I'm like, okay, that guy's cool. Yeah. So I'm not going to root for Derek Carr, but I think he might be a good quarterback.
And I think you hit it around the nail, though. Amari Cooper is really going to have to – I think he's going to have to step it up, right? Now they do have other weapons, Jared Cook and Martavis Bryant and stuff, but
maybe.
Maybe. But when he had Michael Crabtree was a security blanket. He doesn't have that anymore. So
especially in the red zone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, red zone. Yeah, exactly, dude. And I don't know what's gonna happen with Amari Cooper. It makes me so nervous because he screwed me over in fantasy so many damn years. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. The Raiders. They're gonna be, I think, a really interesting team for any NFL fan to watch.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They have the potential to be great. They could have the potential to be horrible. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I could see him winning 2 games. I could see him winning 12 games. It's that drastic to me.
It's such a toss-up, man. Yeah. It's going to be nuts. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that I'm very high on this year. This is a team that I think could win the division.
I thought they could have last year, and then they had that horrible start.
Yeah, they just got to stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Chargers?
Yeah, I think the Chargers' biggest problem is there might be too many people believing in them, which is going to doom them again. Every year the Chargers look like they're going to be good, and then they do something that is just become their MO, which is lose the first 4 games of the season. Or the 2 years before that, their team was decimated by injury. So last year they stayed healthy, but they lost the first 4 games, and part of it was their kicker, and part of it was, I don't know, just bad luck and some few shitty plays. So I think if they win at least 2 of those first 4 games, they definitely have the defense to win the division. And I think their defense reminds me a lot of the Broncos' 2015 defense because they've got 2 elite edge rushers with Ingram and Bosa. Their secondary is stacked now. Casey Hayward, Pro Football Focus rated him as the best corner in the NFL last year.
Yep.
Their rookie King, I believe he was a rookie last year. Their slot corner, I think, he was great. They draft Derwin James. They've got this great young safety coming in, another solid safety. So I think the only question mark on defense is their inside linebackers, and they were a little soft against the run last year, but when you have a defense that can be that good and you've got a veteran quarterback, in Phillip Rivers, who, as much as I used to hate him, like, he's pretty consistent every year. His turnovers were down last season. Right. Like, on paper, everything about him looks like they should win the AFC West. And that's assuming their kicker's Caleb Sturgis now, right? Yeah. Assuming he stays healthy and is a decent kicker for him, I think they're going to probably be a 12-4, 13-3 team, and I think they would be the favorites to win the AFC West.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing in them 12, 13 wins. Yeah. He's got so many weapons. Keenan Allen. I love Keenan Allen.
Now they did lose Hunter Henry.
Henry down for the year.
Man, that's painful for fantasy too.
Tyrell Williams, Mike Williams, Travis Benjamin, Melvin Gordon, who can win hunt, is going to get more involved in the passing game this coming up season. So I mean, now I was watching one of your videos talking about the Los Angeles Chargers, and you said their offensive line was shit. I don't know. We kind of don't think that it's that bad. I think we got they got some talent over there.
Well, they drafted two guards last year, and Feeney and Forrest Lamp, Forrest Lamp got hurt.
They picked up Pouncey,
so hopefully he can come back. Oh, well, he's always hurt though. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think if Pouncey's healthy. And Lamp, pans out to be as good as he was in college and stay healthy. Those are two interior players, that are pretty good. Their tackles, Russell Okung,
and
an average left tackle. He's past his prime. Honestly, I wish he was still playing with the Broncos to be their left tackle, but they're. What is it? I think left guard and right tackle are the positions that I'm unsure of, and I don't know. I just think there's been instability at that position, and I don't think they, like the Broncos, like they've had trouble finding those tackles to, protect your quarterback. Yeah. And just witnessing that with the Chargers and Broncos over the last few seasons, like it affects the play, but the difference is we know Phillip Rivers can handle kind of subpar play from the line. Mm-hmm. It's so when I say it's shit, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but I don't think they have a good offensive line.
Well, I think a point though, because their running game last year was 24th, but the passing was first. Because Phillip Rivers, he's a smart guy. He's a veteran. He can get the ball out of his hands quick.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of playmakers. Right. But their running game is where the offensive line will really show you if it's good or not. So 24th is not good, especially when you have Melvin Gordon, who's easily a top 10 back. Yeah. So we'll have to see how that really pans out.
Right. And I think a guy like Pouncey and Lamp, like, they will affect the running game, being interior offensive linemen. So if they're healthy, that could be a huge relief for Melvin Gordon.
Forrest Lamp is coming off that ACL injury, so
but he got hurt early last year, right?
I think it was
September.
Off season.
It was early September. He got that ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the running game, I also want to ask you, Denver Broncos. Who do you see end up eventually being the starter, Devin Booker or Royce Freeman? Because I love
Royce Freeman. I love him, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think today the news was just reported by one of the local Denver media guys that the starting job is Devontae Booker's to lose, basically. I don't know how much to read into that because, honestly, I think if Royce Freeman in training camp and preseason shows that he understands pass protection, that he's gonna get the football a lot, and he's gonna get it early because he looks like that type of running back you want to be handing the ball off on early downs. So he was a prolific rusher in Oregon. So I think you want to get him the ball as much as you can, as early as you can, assuming he understands the pass pro concepts. Booker, his strength really is pass catching as a running back. He doesn't really look like that type of guy, but that's where he's had the most success so far here in Denver. And there's this guy on the roster, D'Angelo Henderson, who looked really good last preseason. I think got a lot of people excited. But I have no idea if they're going to use him a lot. But he would be a great third down back. Yeah. So that's a position group I don't know how it's going to shake out. Right. But if based on the guy's skill sets, I would want to have Royce Freeman as your first and second down back and D'Angelo Henderson coming in on third down, because he was like running routes like a wide receiver last preseason and making dudes miss. Like, he's an explosive player that not a lot of people outside of Denver know of. And I just want to see him do that in the regular season to see if he, it's a legit player, if that was just, preseason teasing us.
I like your running back depth right here. Yeah. We were huge fans of C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, I felt like C.J. Anderson he couldn't.
And I think he would have been great with Case Keenum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He would have been a perfect complement to Keenum because he's one of the best pass blocking running backs in the league. He's one of the smartest guys on the offense. So he's like the guy who knows all the plays and can, help younger guys if they're not sure what's going on. And like, as a quarterback, to know you have that kind of running back, to rely on, if you get in trouble, a guy is going to be in the right place to dump it off to. Yeah. It would have been good to see Anderson, but I think like Booker still having a year or two left on his deal, and knowing that there were running backs in the draft, like the Broncos were kind of in a weird position with him. I wish they would have kept him, but I don't think they needed to have 4 running backs on the roster, and I think they were going to definitely draft a running back. So, but and CJ was actually one of the guys who would talk to me every now and then. So that really made it made it tough.
Dang, that's nice.
It's like you tweet out videos and shit to the players a lot, and most of them don't respond. But CJ Anderson was always like really cool about that sort of thing. So
that's a bad
attitude. Those ones really stink.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would say like the biggest knock I have against your Broncos is Vance Joseph.
I think that's everybody's right now.
I think he's
everybody.
He's a terrible coach. He's terrible.
From what I don't know, Brandon maybe because he maybe hears more about it, but I heard that Von Miller really loves Vance Joseph. Like,
why?
I don't know. He said he loves him, and
I don't know. I think
that's what I heard.
That might be true. I think Aqib Talib wasn't a fan. I think that's a big reason he was also gone.
Yeah.
That's like, I want to try to be optimistic because last year was bad for a lot of reasons, and Vance Joseph was part of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't really have a choice. And I think the difference this year is the defensive coordinator, Joe Woods, has a year of experience under his belt. They're not going to fire Mike McCoy 4 or 5 games into the season. Bill Musgrave will be calling the offense all year.
Yeah.
Hoping stability helps. And I think Vance Joseph, if he turns out to be a good head coach, he's going to be one of those guys who's just a good game manager. I don't think he was ever designed to be like one of those genius head coaches or a guy that's like calling offensive plays and being head coach like Kyle Shanahan or Doug Peterson. Yeah. He needs to be a guy who just, I don't know, inspires the players, manages the game, and lets his coordinators call it. And again, I don't know. He might not be good at all. And this could easily be his last season. If the Broncos don't have a winning season, he's definitely gone.
So he's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, Elway already had to debate whether or not he was going to fire him after last season. So
that's very true. You have a great defense. You have weapons on offense. And like you said, you just got to find a motivation. And he might not be a bad coach, but if that team's not responding to you, right, it might not work out.
Yeah, I think if there's an issue there, it might be that players do like him too much, and he might be a guy who's too easy on the players, and that lack of discipline starts to break down over the course of a season. But I don't really know any of that for sure.
Yeah.
And it's hard to gauge what's true and what's shit the media makes up and what's stuff that's actually coming from players. Like, you never know. Stuff gets diluted pretty quickly, and even something that is true gets turned into something else. So
what sources say, right?
Right. Hurt source.
Yeah.
Hurt source.
And then, okay, so for me, the way I see the AFC West playing out is I got the Chargers, and then I got your Broncos, and then I'm going to go Chiefs, and I'm going to go Raiders.
That's exactly how I see it playing out. So, very small.
Yeah, Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders. That's exactly what I have.
And it's probably going to not be that at all.
No.
It's going to be, now that we've said that's going to be the Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers.
Because Gruden is a goddamn genius.
If we don't know, like the Chiefs and Raiders, they have a lot of talent on their team, but they just have a lot of question marks, right?
Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I can't say that.
I can't get behind them, right?
Can't say anything for sure.
Yeah, especially when the Raiders, when they adjust their offensive line and don't do anything for their secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're relying on Carl Joseph and all these guys that Carl Joseph maybe he'll step up. I don't know.
Yep.
He was a first round pick a couple years ago. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean the AFC West is weird in that like each team has this crazy good outside linebacker, right? So Justin Houston, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, and then Bosa and Ingram. Like, that's kind of the thing that you want to try to defend against. And the team that can handle that the best, I think, right now are the Raiders because they have proven tackles. They added a tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
And, so if you look at it from like trying to build a team to play against your divisional rivals, then maybe that would be like that might be what John Gruden's thinking.
Sure, he might be a mad genius. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm sure Raiders fans are commenting right now.
Yeah,
fuck you guys,
Raiders. They're gonna hate us. I already see it now.
Gruden's a goddamn genius.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think the Raiders fans were the ones I pissed off the most in my AFC West breakdowns.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already going to see all the hate. And if we're wrong by even one game, they're going to give us shit. Even just one thing.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Anything else, Sean? You got
any? I
can't
think of anything.
Let me ask you guys something because got a Bears fan. What are your thoughts on Trubisky? Are you high on him heading into his second year?
I couldn't be higher on Mitchell Trubisky, and let me tell you, I'm coming from all the way the lowest of the lows. When we drafted Trubisky, I was pissed off.
Oh, we got that reaction
video. I couldn't believe that we traded up all those picks to move up one damn spot because I still don't believe that the 49ers were going to draft Trubisky. Not at all. I don't think anybody does. I was pissed off, but come training camp, preseason, by the start of the regular season, I was sold on Trubisky. I liked what I saw from him last year, despite the fact that we had no wide receiving core at all. I mean, everybody was hurt. It was depleted. I think Mitchell Trubisky is going to be great this year.
And who's the little running back? You got the smaller pass.
Tariq Cohen,
yeah, that guy's fun to watch. Like,
hell yeah.
If they get him the ball, he'll be even funner.
Right.
Oh, Matt Nagy is going to use him
better.
Oh, I'm so excited for the Chicago Bears. Trubisky's finally got weapons around him. I think the Bears are vastly underrated.
Yeah.
I think with Nagy going over there, like I think they have a chance to like be one of those teams whose offense you see improve the most over one offseason. Like John Fox, he was in Denver for 4 years, but like. Again, he's kind of like a Vance Joseph sort of guy where he's not this really smart coach and he's like innovating things on the offense. Like he was good when he was here because we had Peyton Manning and we had Mike McCoy with Manning, which worked, and Adam Gase. So I think there are some tools there for you guys to use and a young quarterback with the new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I've always the Bears are a team I've never hated. Right? Like. They're a team that's always been pretty likable, even with Jay Cutler. Like, so I'm going to root for the Bears to do well. I don't know if I can say the same about the Cowboys. Those teams that
I was waiting for it.
Ready.
Rub a lot of people the wrong way. But I will say, I like Dak Prescott.
Yes.
Not a huge Ezekiel Elliott fan, even though I think he's a really talented running back. With getting rid of Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
With Jerry Jones still being your owner, are you optimistic about this season for the Cowboys?
I'm actually very optimistic. And a big reason why is I think we actually don't have a lot of expectations for the first time in a very long time. Because ever since Romo pretty much took over, we've always had high expectations.
Is that true?
That is actually very
You're
true.
the Dallas Cowboys.
That's that too. But this year, everybody's predicting us to lose to the damn Redskins. Okay?
No.
Yes, I was watching so many videos. Anyways, no, I'm actually very optimistic because last year our offense with Zeke, we're a top 5 offense. He's very talented. He improves. We don't even need.
Except when you guys played the Broncos.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for it. Yeah, but you know what? I'll give you the Broncos props. We actually streamed for that game. We were in New Orleans. We got done with the Saints game. We went home, and I was so pissed off because anyways.
Dude, that was the Super Bowl for our season.
I was just about to say, that was the best moment of y'all's season right there.
Exactly. Week 2, the Broncos fucking peaked.
That's why I was like, why do they have to go shitty after they beat my Cowboys, demolish us? It was just outrageous.
Did you see the All or Nothing with Des Bryant before that game?
I actually haven't watched it yet. I've been so busy I haven't watched it yet. A lot of people have been telling me I got Amazon Prime, so I'm gonna have to watch it.
You know what? I actually think Des Bryant leaving was actually not that bad of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't think Dak and Des had any chemistry whatsoever. They don't need a Des Bryant over there in Dallas because he's not gonna.
Well, you know me. At first, I was a little heartbroken because I love Des. I think he's still got a lot of talent and great talent, and I didn't want us to let him go. But after my emotions calmed down, I was like, you know what? It kind of makes sense because I felt like with Romo, with Romo as quarterback, Des was fine. Because Romo was that strong presence in the locker room. He had the authority. I think Dak coming in, Des didn't have that respect for him, right? I think Des needs to go somewhere where he's got like an Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, one of these quarterbacks that has control, that can tell him, hey, calm down, bro. Calm down. And he used to.
Right.
Dak can fully take over that team. I think Des will still be the vocal leader. Dak can now take over. No more Jason Witten. So it's all on Dak.
They'll be fine.
And our offense doesn't rely on a number 1 receiver. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Even when he was there, we never needed a number 1 receiver. So I think our offense will be a top 10 offense. We were when Zeke was healthy, not suspended. He doesn't think so. And our defense, surprisingly, last year was a top 10 defense. I had no idea until after. And I feel like they got better, But yeah, I'm actually really optimistic about Cowboys. As long as they stay healthy and stop being suspended, that's all I care about.
Right. Third year for your quarterback, I think is like the right year for them to really make a leap and to become that leader that
give them that reins,
teams need. Mm-hmm. But if I'm a team that has a really good veteran quarterback and a receiver goes down in training camp or preseason, easily bring in Des Bryant if you have a strong quarterback in there, because you're right, like. It's insane to me that he's still a free agent because of his talent level. But check out, at least I think it's the first episode of All or Nothing, because before that Broncos game, Des starts going off on his wide receivers coach about the wide receivers coach telling him that the Broncos secondary is really good. And he gets pissed off for what seems like no reason. And that the coach is like, Des, I'm just telling you, we just need to be prepared for these guys. I know we need to be fucking prepared. We just got to go out there and play. I'm like, well, maybe that's the reason he's gone, is because he's preparing for defenses seriously. I don't know, but I think if you'd find it pretty interesting.
I definitely want to watch it. Everybody's been telling me. I've just been so busy.
Maybe he'll be a Raider.
Oh,
probably.
Martavis Bryant, he's gonna smoke some weed and get suspended. Jordy Nelson's gonna go down, and they're gonna need someone.
Exactly what he was saying. Someone's gonna go down.
I don't know.
He could play with Stafford too, I think, in Detroit.
You know what? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I love
that
Stafford.
guy's gonna feed him the ball a ton too. So
and like a Calvin Johnson, just throw it up to him.
That would work, but let's not let that be true.
Oh
though.
Yeah. No. He should definitely go to Detroit.
Nah.
Yeah.
Stafford's fine even without Ted.
You sure?
He's more than fine.
Okay.
He's good. But Brandon, man, we appreciate you joining us, talking about the AFC West. It was great having you on.
Pleasure,
You're awesome,
man.
dude. You're one of our favorite out there on YouTube, and we appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. No,
thanks for having me. It was fun talking football. It's appropriate now because training camp's about to start. It's not just we can talk about football and not feel like assholes. So
exactly. And everybody, guys. I don't know if you haven't heard of Brandon Perna at That Good Sports. I don't know what you're doing on YouTube. If you haven't, go subscribe to him. His link's going to be in the description box down below. Also, I think you have another channel, right?
That's Good Broncos.
Yeah, That's Good Broncos. So if you're a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
And go check out his website, ThatsGoodSports.com.
Yeah.
And all of that, all the links will be in the description box down below. And make sure to comment. Let us know all your ridiculous thoughts. And do you agree? Who do you agree with? Disagree with? And all that. And we'll see how it all plays out. Who knows? There's still a lot of time left.
A lot of training camp.
Stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Yep.
Bears could be in the playoffs, guys.
Oh, let's not get crazy.
Yes!
No, let's not get crazy. Don't give this guy hope.
Bears.
Oh,
Let's go, Brandon. All right, guys. We'll see you on the 2018 season.